Chris, I have a question for you.
Oh no.
Yep, get it out.
How was your watch of Revenge of the Ditch this week?
It's all right. As it's it's the best of the series.
You can continue to
No,
no sell
it's
it
a
all
little
you want.
it's a little rough on the suspension if I'm being honest, but we're to get over that, you're usually fine.
I'm really glad that as soon as you made that misspelling, all three of us, including your wife, were on your immediately
About it becoming a
nonstop.
It's revenge for what I put her through on a daily basis because she really has gotten good at not being able to let a bit go. So I know that's directly my fault.
One of us, one of us, one of us. Hello and welcome to Star Wars Every Week Forever, the podcast in which we watch one Star Wars movie every week forever. This week, Revenge of the Sith. Sith, Chris. Sith. You cannot see for those on the podcast and or watching on YouTube since we don't put up the video. I just got flipped off. Ben, how was your watch?
It was good. It was good. The Sith got their revenge.
Boy, did they.
The Senate was had. Yeah.
I had the Senate.
I had the Senate.
Chris, how was your watch?
Oh, it was good. Still the best Star Wars movie.
Thought that was episode 2.
I found myself quoting. God damn it, Ben! I found myself quoting Obi-Wan all throughout the the saber duel at the end. At the end, just like, democracy, you're the chosen one. Anakin. I'm just sitting here in my living room. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm just like.
When Ben and I watched the movie together, we did the exact same thing. We just yelled the lines at the top of our lungs, and then I think Ben might have messed one up, and then I made fun of him incessantly on the episode that followed. My watch.
How was your watch, Jay?
My watch was really good. My watch was really, really good.
Hi.
Because my watch was incredible. My watch was incredible. Incredible. I had a great watch. Even the stuff that didn't work this time, it worked for such a long time that by the time I got to like the last 25 minutes of the movie and we were on the first of the They Might Be Giants kids albums that didn't work, I was so high on life, I guess, high on Star Wars and They Might Be Giants that it didn't matter. It all worked anyway. I had a great watch. I was really afraid last episode, even though there were moments that were viscerally on point, that I was going to be like, oh, is it going to be like this the entire time where only like maybe 20 minutes of the movie are really on point or like 40 minutes? No. I had such a good They Might Be Giants watch.
I'm progressively getting more worried about you.
I'm so happy.
Same. Because, look, I'm not the biggest They Might Be Giants fan. I think, like most people know, like 6 of their songs go, that's really fucking cool in probably the best possible way. I think you're out of your fucking mind with every episode. My watch was great. Was it?
Yeah. Totally honest. 1,000,000% honest.
I can't imagine actually enjoying this.
Because first, it's all about the sync. You're not looking for just the music or just the movie. God knows I'm not looking for just the movie. You're looking for how the music informs the movie and vice versa.
You're looking for that sweet pareidolia.
Yes. But also, like,
sweet pareidolia.
They Might Be Giants is so stupidly perfect for this because, like, you can't peg them down as a band because, like, one day it's like, excuse me while I write an upbeat song about a scarecrow following you like your fucking shadow ready to kill you at any given time, or a song about being murdered by someone you murdered, and the next day it's the fucking Mickey Mouse theme house fucking theme. Like, it's just, there's no in between. There was a song this watch that had like 30 seconds of just moo because it was off a kid's album, and it was still incredible. It's so stupid. I respect They Might Be Giants as artists incredibly, but there are times where, especially now that I'm getting to the kids album bits, where it's so off that it's fantastic, and it was so good. It was such a good watch. I cannot stress enough, I'm having a great time.
All I'm coming to hear is in a movie where children literally get murdered. Jay had to listen to children's music.
I can't remember, because much like when you do get high, you forget most of the stuff that happens. That's why I keep really in-depth notes. I forget what happened that scene, and I need to know now.
Jay,
Because, like,
on the day that she watches, Jay will just flood whatever episode's Discord channel is with gifs of like whatever the fuck, like mind-blowing type stuff.
I know it was one of their early albums, so I imagine it's come and gone. I feel like it would sync up hilariously if you played that like Constantinople song over Anakin just murdering children.
well, I won't lie. Knowing like half of their discography, it's impossible to know their entire discography. But I know like half of their discography. There's been several songs that I really wished were somewhere else in the series that weren't, but usually they were somewhere that fit way better. So in regards to, uh, I'm just gonna talk about Order 66 real quick because it's the last of the really great syncs. Yes, the syncs were great all the way up to Order 66, and it was right around after Obi-Wan talks to Padme that the syncs weren't good. So Order 66. Let's go back to Mace just a little bit. The beginning of Another First Kiss plays during the Ruminations of Padme scene. The lyrics go, I'm asleep, but she's talking to me. She's walking around wearing all my clothes, and she's run out of things to say and grabs my coat and to walk away, which was just great. It's not as great when it goes into when it plays through the Mace and Palpatine duel, but it implies they fucked, so I'm fine with that. The song I've Got a Fang plays over the Palpatine Mace lightning sing, and it works incredibly well, and I could not begin to explain why. It just has these like weird vibes with nonsensical lyrics with triangle, cowbell, and industrial sound that fits really well. And Palps has fangs, obviously. Also, the song breaks down into quietness and sax as Mace tries to do the deed, and it gets quiet again, and then picks up right as Palpatine yells power. It's fantastic. The song Hovering Sombrero plays during Anakin's fall. It fits as a meme when you think about Mace outside, hovering outside, but it's not that great. But the actual Order 66, the song Yeah Yeah plays as Palpatine tells Anakin to go to the Jedi Council, and that sync is hilarious but terrible because it's just about a dinner date at your girlfriend's apartment. But it's funny to listen to over the fascist imagery of stormtroopers marching towards a temple to kill some soon-to-be-dead kids. Fortunately, the song leaves as Palps calls for Order 66 and goes into the song Hopeless Bleak Despair, which is great. It cuts out just as the kid is asking what they're going to do, and there is this like weird moment in there just as the song Drink starts, and the lyrics I'll take back my pinata, it's wasted on you hit, and then Anakin lights his lightsaber, which is so fucking ridiculous. I had a really good watch. It's right around the scene where the sync just went absolutely insane and I lost it all. There was like a good portion of the Anakin and Obi-Wan duel ending that had just moo cow sounds playing over it, and that was terrible. But I was just sat back in my seat so gone at that point that it didn't matter. How do you mean terrible?
Define terrible. How is it? I mean, that sounds incredible to me. It's
I
just
mean,
fucking. They're just like, let's just move. It's fucking cows.
well,
Like they're getting heckled by cows for their fucking lightsaber abilities.
anytime I say today horrible or terrible, I mean hilarious and incredible.
Oh, so you mean in like podcaster? Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
like in the description of this podcast,
eh.
it's horrible and terrible, but actually deeply funny. I mean, I could go on all episode about this because it goes all the way back to the beginning, and the majority of it is just fantastic. But I don't want to spend the entire episode talking about it. We'll come back. Have you ever noticed that Ian McDermott looks exactly like Colin Mockery?
I have no idea who Colin Mockery is.
Yeah.
He's
God damn it.
Colin Mockery is an actor that is famous for the show Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh shit, Colin. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar. Fuck.
They both look
God
very, very, very
fucking
alike.
damn it, Jay. Why must you do this to me?
I thought it was a fantastic point.
Oh.
Now it's time
Define
for
fantastic.
scenes from a hat.
I'm just picturing Palpatine on Whose Line Is It Anyway, and I'm mad.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really good. It's really great. You know, I'm sure, like, it's very Palpatine to send, like, a hologram onto, like, a famous show and force them to bow before him so that he can, like, so they can, like, circle jerk him as he does a terrible job. Because, like, in the terms of the movie, Ian McDermott is great. In terms of that Palpatine going to act or something, it would be terrible.
It's just Drew Carey, like, going, and you know, our special guest for the evening, the Emperor of the Galaxy. Fucking Palpatine comes floating in. Thank you.
It's very
Yes.
good to be here.
Very good to be here. I didn't know they got you back. I thought you were doing space Price is Right.
Wayne Brady, you better not step on my feet tonight.
I thought you were doing the credits are correct.
Now I just want Palpatine on Space Price is Right.
I do too. I mean, that's an episode of Papa Palps easily.
Like, what, it's like, all right, I'll bid, it's 200, and person bids, it's like 199, and they get it. God damn it, they lowballed me. Fucking Drew Carey.
And when
He
I
gets
win,
66 every time.
when I win, all proceeds go to me and my empire.
They try
And
to
so
bring
do
a
all
third
the
contestant on, he just fucking force lightnings them. It's like, no, 2.
I want one-on-one combat. Are either of you Zabrak? No, then I just want to face you one.
You know what I feel like this movie did? I'm coming in hot with some fresh headcanon.
No, you don't get the jingle for that.
Oh, come on!
Head cannon!
Head cannon.
Oh my god. No, I really think if Anakin had just I had a point here. It's gone. Oh, sorry. If Anakin had won this duel, I think he would have Palpatine would have ended up having to kill him like 6 months later anyway. Yeah. Anakin was on such like a you watch him steadily become more and more feral throughout this movie basically. Like he's just fully fucking coming unhinged. If he killed Obi-Wan, what was going to happen? Padme was probably going to die anyway. Anakin would directly see that, blame himself. Like he would fully fucking lose it.
Yeah, I think it would very quickly become a him or Palpatine kind of situation where it's like they both aren't walking away from that. Someone is dying.
I just choose to believe the Revenge of the Sith video game got it right. In the Revenge of the Sith video game, you could win the duel with Obi-Wan as Anakin, and at the end of it, he's just like, all right, stormtroopers. He kills like all the stormtroopers, and then he goes to kill Palpatine, if I remember correctly. Like, if he didn't lose that duel, he was just like, all right, I guess I'm gonna kill Palpatine and bring my new empire into play.
He actually does kill Palpatine in the cutscene, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Might be.
That was a great game.
Yeah, it's one of the few movie-based games I remember, like when that era was still a thing. It's one of the few movie-based games I remember being really good. There aren't a lot of those.
The Attack of the Clones game was also very good. I had that for the original Xbox.
I don't know. I
know
had
what?
it for the GBA, and it was really bad for the GBA.
Well,
had
I
the-
mean, yes, very
I had
different
episode
game.
3 for the GBA. It was
Oh, you had-
rough.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I mean, it was just
I-
like a 2D like side scroller. And it did
I
the same
had-
thing where you play as like you have 2 different plot lines as Obi-Wan and one as Anakin. It was weird.
I mean, the real draw of the Revenge of the Sith video game was that you could do duels in multiplayer.
Yep.
I had a bunch of weird GBA straight to movie games. I remember I had not the Bourne Identity, that weird movie where there's precognition. There's a couple of people plugged into precog
Minority
machines.
Report.
Yeah,
Minority
I had the Minority Report GBA game, also terrible.
I had that game for the PlayStation 2, and that is one of the games I have the fondest memories of as a child.
Can we watch the Minority Report every week forever, other than Star Wars? I know this is a good movie, but
Bad movie.
I don't remember it. I
It's
don't
Tom
remember if it's good or
Cruise,
bad. Oh
which
yeah, that is Tom
isn't
Cruise's.
automatically a bad thing. I
I've
like
never
a lot of
seen
Tom Cruise's movies, even though he's a lunatic. But no, I don't. That was not a good movie.
I don't remember if it was good or bad. I remember seeing it. That's about it.
I've never seen it. It's got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Only he could have
That don't mean shit.
seen his future coming. He could have, movie.
Yeah, I
Fucking-
don't.
I'm ready to watch anything other than Star Wars every week forever. Let's
Yeah.
pitch other movies. We got Minority Report.
Star Trek.
Only the
I-
J.J. Abrams ones.
I knew that would shut Chris
No.
up very quickly.
Only the J.J. Abrams ones.
Let's watch Star Trek V, the one where they travel through time and save the last blue whale. Let's watch that every week
It's
forever.
gotta be
Just
all
Star
or
Trek
nothing though, Jay.
No, it doesn't have to be. Most
No,
people don't do
that
it the
was
way
just-
we do it.
That was just the criteria defined for this particular project.
Yeah.
We can do whatever the fuck we want for any other projects we do, What's
I mean, the worst idea of all time watched Grown Ups 2 for a year once a week. Like, it doesn't have to be defined by all or nothing. I would
know, I'm
watch-
saying our shtick was like the franchise.
Our shtick. I mean,
Our
we're
shtick.
imagining this. We're imagining we quit tomorrow and did something different. Like we had to keep watching one movie every week forever, but it couldn't be Star Wars. And I really do think Star Trek V is a fantastic option.
For a while when I was super poor, the only hard copy movie I had was The Town. So I probably watched The Town 3 times a week for 2 years.
Wow.
Just, sometimes you need something to do to fill the silence, and then, you get Jeremy Renner doing a bad Southie accent.
Jesus.
I mean, when I was in high school, there was a significant amount of time where we didn't have cable or TV or internet. So I watched Star Wars over and over and over again. But when I didn't watch Star Wars, I watched like Clerks 2, and I think Click, and that was hellacious. You couldn't
should
pay me to
watch-
watch Click again.
We should watch Click
No.
every week forever.
We should watch.
I literally just said you couldn't pay me to watch Click
We
again.
should watch
What if-
51st Dates every week forever, because that just seems to fit the theme of the movie as well.
Okay, but I'm obsessed with 51st
I
Dates
love that movie. It's a
because
great movie.
I can't stop thinking about the horror story it must be to be the female lead in that, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, well, that's like, I love Drew Barrymore. Young Chris was in love with Drew Barrymore. You wake up every morning and you got to take in a lot of information, but like at the end of the day, you've been with Adam Sandler for like a decade. And as someone who's been stuck with Adam Sandler at the forefront of entertainment for most of his life. I don't. Drew, blink twice if you need help.
I've had this conversation on multiple occasions with friend of the show Zins, because I at least once or twice a month think about poor Drew Barrymore in that movie. Can you imagine waking up in the Arctic, pregnant with a 6-year-old, married to Adam Sandler, and the last thing you remember is being like 20?
Listen, can you imagine waking? I mean, I can't imagine, but like, imagine waking up on the day you're giving birth. You wake up and you're in the middle of like labor.
Nope. Nope.
You just wake up and it's like, all right, hey, I need you to watch this video. I know you're in excruciating pain, but watch this video. It'll catch you up to speed. Also, you're giving birth today. You're like right there. It's coming. You got 30 seconds to adjust.
I think this movie has decided for us, if we quit Star Wars tomorrow, which we cannot, it would be 50 First Dates.
Can we just title this episode 51st Dates every week
Hold on.
forever?
Yes,
Just,
Okay, I need to know what I'm getting into.
just keep talking about
I
50
don't watch
No,
a
we're
lot
not.
of movies, and we're quickly veering off into random ass movies Ben's never seen.
Oh my god, do you know the plot of 50 First Dates, Ben?
I have no idea what we're talking about for the past.
Oh
like,
my
15
god,
minutes.
okay, fuck Star Wars. Let's explain the plot of 50 First Dates.
They say
Let's
on
keep
their
it succinct.
Star Wars podcast. Fuck Star Wars.
Let's
We're
keep
talking
it
50
succinct. Let's keep it succinct. I will start a timer. We have 3 minutes to explain the plot to Ben.
Drew Barrymore meets Adam Sandler. She likes him for some reason. Then they meet again. No idea who he is. Turns out her brain resets every day. Been doing that for like a decade or something. She's just living the same day over and over again. The people in her small town are basically just letting her live a lie, helping her live a lie, letting her go
Because she
through
had
her
an
motions.
accident.
Yeah.
This sounds like a more fucked up combination of like the Truman Show
Yeah.
and Groundhog Day.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
but
I'm
it's
describing
played
an M. Night
straight.
Shyamalan horror movie, right? No. Rom-com. Adam
romantic
Sandler,
comedy.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, they end up in love, and then like they have sex the one night,
Well,
and then like
to be very specific, Adam Sandler ends up in love. She wakes up every day not remembering it, but the movie
Yeah.
implies she likes him.
and they end up having sex at one point, and she wakes up in the morning freaking the fuck out. Clearly, obviously.
Who the fuck is a strange man in my
Yeah.
bed?
And then hijinks ensue. Her brother wears like that mesh shirt for some reason. It has some
Yeah.
weird thing with his nipples or something.
Which,
Um,
Chris, would you like to tell him who the brother is?
I don't remember who the brother is off the top of my head.
The brother in 50 First Dates is Sean Astin, as in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay, we only have 3 minutes.
I refuse to
I'm
believe
speedrunning
Samwise
it.
Gamgee is in this movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
has a terrible, offensive.
I think he has a lisp, right?
Yeah, he has like a weird,
As someone
terrible,
with a
insulting
lisp,
lisp.
yeah. No, but then hijinks ensue. Rob Schneider's in it, being every Rob Schneider character he's ever been, but the most of it somehow. The most Rob Schneider he's ever been. And yeah, they're in love, and they end up going in the Arctic, and they have like kids, and he makes her some like big sappy tape that she has to watch every morning, like she's being held against her will. And
Yeah,
they're like,
like,
here,
it's-
watch this, and it tells their whole story, like they have kids and everything. So she wakes up at the end of the movie on a boat in the middle of the Arctic with a
Because
6-year-old.
he's a
She's pregnant.
biologist. Going to
Yeah,
the
he's a
Arctic.
biologist. They're just out in the Arctic. And
She
so that's
wake-
her life every day. Every day she wakes up, she watches a VHS tape. It's 2021 now, so
Which, dick move 50 First Dates. You have her wake up in a weird room, pregnant, very upset, like very confused about what's going on, puts it in the DVD, walks upstairs, she's in the middle of the Arctic Ocean, and she has a 6-year-old. So like, it's like, oh no, she's pregnant. Oh no, she has a 6-year-old. Oh no, she's married to Adam Sandler. Can you imagine her waking up on her wedding day?
what if you lose power? What if she can't watch the video?
Oh my god. So that's enough
So,
50 First Dates talk.
So, Star Wars Episode 3,
I need your impression and then we'll move on.
I'm scarred for life.
Okay.
Something I
Okay.
love about a speed run review of 51st Dates hiding in the middle of a fucking Star Wars podcast. Six
we, like,
rotations deep.
Can we, like, once every 5 rotations just have, like, a speed review of a random other movie? That'd be
Honestly,
amazing.
that would be perfect because I watch like no movies
Please.
basically.
I want to do the Wishmaster.
Another time.
Oh God, we just created another bit, didn't we?
Yeah, we
I
did.
mean, fans, our 5 fans, let us know if that's a bit you're okay with, like, very, very sparingly.
Yeah.
So, Revenge of the Ditch.
Yeah. No Padres. Disappointed.
That feels like revenge for us telling you
It,
the
it
plot.
is. It is. This is what you
Feels
get for
like-
bringing up Adam Sandler on the
Feels
fucking
like
Star
Revenge
Wars
of the
podcast.
Bit, huh?
61st Sith.
I just the timeline would be so different if
Actors
when
swap
Anakin.
pitch.
Please,
What?
please tell us.
Rob Schneider as Emperor Palpatine.
No. You're gonna make me download a picture of Rob Schneider to my computer, Chris.
Rob Schneider's
How-
character from 51st Dates.
How fucking dare you.
Might be slightly
How fucking
racially
dare.
offensive. I don't remember.
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna use it, but how fucking dare you? You were talking about the timeline, Ben.
I was. How fucking different would the timeline be if when Anakin's like, hey, Palpatine's a Sith Lord, and Mace Windu was like, all right, come with me, we're gonna go kill him, instead of just being like, no, you stay here, cause fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this movie that could have gone mildly better that would have changed the movie forever.
It's a
Like,
pretty- I want that to just be the way you review Star Wars to people from now on. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that could have gone mildly better. You know,
there could have been no Grievous, like...
yeah, God, I saw YouTube has started this thing.
Oh no.
Maybe you've seen it when browsing our videos on youtube.com. They have these shorts now. They're basically trying to do TikTok or, Instagram Reels or whatever. It's like short little videos. I was scrolling through the other night and one of those popped up and it was the behind the scenes interview with Natalie Portman where she's talking about the dress that George Lucas designed for her and she has such hostage eyes. It's just, yeah, it's great.
She's just like,
it's so, yeah.
I mean, I can't really
Her
breathe
eyes
in
say
it,
help
but...
me.
Oh, it's great. Send help.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were in the movie Attack of the Clones, would you?
They're lowering
no
the
Rick.
oxygen levels.
Only Rick McCallum can save me.
He started by lowering the oxygen levels in the editing offices or the CGI offices. Now he's trying to lower the oxygen levels by putting me in a fucking dress that doesn't fit me. Help, help, help.
It just cuts to like a piece of lost behind the scenes footage where it's just George Lucas and he's like, yeah, they wouldn't let me set Hayden Christensen on fire for some reason. I don't know why they wouldn't just, like, I thought it'd be the best shot. We put Mark out in the snow, had him hike, and I tried to drown him, or allegedly tried to drown him.
Made him hit his head off the ceiling like fucking 16 times.
I was like, Hayden, baby, you can't just set yourself on fire for me, baby.
The tone in which you said that went on such a journey because, like, it started Jerry Seinfeld and it ended with your New York accent coming out. What's
Hayden,
the deal?
Hayden, I just need you to light yourself on fire for me. We need to get the shot, baby. It's turning into Christopher Walken.
It's turning into something.
Hayden, baby, we just need...
I'm picturing. I'm picturing the SNL cowbell sketch, but it's Hayden Christensen playing the cowbell.
Hayden, I got a fever, Hayden.
And the only prescription.
Jesus Christ. Star Wars Every Week Forever. Just a couple of things that could, mildly be better.
Remember that episode where they talked about 50 First Dates for a long time, and then Chris did a bunch of accents that sounded like nobody that they tried to place?
I love that one of the most well thought of and well remembered duels in all of Star Wars is essentially just like Anakin trying to kill Obi-Wan because he thinks he was cheating on his wife. With it really comes down to like a domestic dispute.
On this note, I had a theory that Jay kind of brought me to. I don't know if I've brought this up before. What if Luke and Leia are actually the offspring of Obi-Wan, and there actually was an affair?
Yeah, I will say, since we're here at the moment, They Might Be Giants implied that it was absolutely an affair.
They Might Be Giants straight up said it might have been an affair.
Yeah, they
in
agreed
a press
with
release earlier this year.
During that scene, and I'd really love to go over all of this, but I want to stay on point because it's an interesting point that I agree with. When Padme says she's pregnant, it's accompanied by the song Maybe I Know, and the lyrics that play right during it that say, maybe I know that she's been a cheatin', maybe I know that she's been untrue, but what can I do? And that continues all the way. That continues like the process that I have said throughout the history of the podcast, or more implied, that I don't think they've seen each other more than once or twice since Attack of the Clones, and I really think they didn't have time to bang. And I think the fact that Obi-Wan was on the council implies that Obi-Wan had way more time to bang her.
Now, I don't remember. Ben, you're going to have to help me. Because I could see it's a children's show technically, so no.
No,
But
there was not an episode where we see them bang.
No, I'm
Chris.
not asking. Yeah, no. Ben, was there full penetration in Star Wars: The Clone Wars? What do you? No.
What the fuck is going on?
I could see. All I'm saying is I could see them doing some weird, like trying to towards the end of the series make not a hint at it, but like at least put them in the same place in roughly the time period to be like, see, maybe they conceived here.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything, but it's been about a year since I watched the Clone Wars, so like
in season 1, the finale, for some reason, there is like one scene where Anakin goes back home to meet Padme. So that's the finale. So I know they met. I just don't believe it because they don't know each other at all. Like I don't believe at any point that these people know each other. And I would fully believe. I mean, it's Ewan McGregor. Like, who wouldn't? I say on a podcast about Star Wars that someone might clip someday if we ever get popular and send to Ewan McGregor, which is deeply uncomfortable.
Do you think Ewan McGregor doesn't know that most people want to have sex with Ewan McGregor? Do you think this would be new information to Ewan McGregor? So, Ewan, you're going to want to read this. My God. They think I'm hot. It's changed my entire worldview. Things are looking up for old Ewan.
So, like, just to bring this point that we keep trying to make home,
I'm so lost right now.
do we at least think it in our massive experience with watching Revenge of the Sith 6 times? Do we at least think it's possible that Luke and Leia are absolutely Obi-Wans?
I mean, I think there's got to be at least a small percent chances, anything in life. Sure, why not? It's Ewan McGregor. What do you like?
It's Ewan
the thing
McGregor.
is, Luke's blonde. At least in episode 4. It's got the lighter, real light hair. And Anakin's dirty blonde, I want to say. And when he's a kid, he's straight up like bowl cut blonde hair.
Ewan has the same color hair.
Blondish.
It's just a little
I thought
darker
it was more
blonde.
like red.
His natural hair is, but it's dyed more dark blonde in the movies.
It's in like all the animated stuff. He's red hair.
No, it's blonde in the animated stuff too.
I'm colorblind, so I don't know.
Also,
I just look forward to future Jay putting up animated photos of Obi-Wan that's just like bright red hair.
So it's not like a redhead. It's like the color red. Like crimson
the
red.
Color red. The mere idea of the color red.
This might also be me being weird because I just watched.
No, it's not the color red,
the
Ben.
2D series.
It's
No, I know.
not-
I was joking about it being like bright red.
It's not. It's blonde in the Clone Wars. Like it's actually more blonde in the Clone Wars. Now in the Clone Wars cartoon, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, that's non-canon, unfortunately.
We're sitting here talking about the canonicity of hair color. This is what our podcast has devolved into. The canonicity of hair color.
So
I must be like fucking on something thinking about the 2D animated because it's a bit more of like a redhead kind of deal.
I went to double check the Obi-Wan picture from the Clone Wars that I had up when we were talking about it to just like double check, and I had forgotten I had closed the tab. Oh yeah, that's absolutely blonde in like that's not red.
Are you kidding me?
That's not red.
Again,
That is
colorblind.
Bro.
That is light blonde hair. Yeah, that's not red. Everybody sees color different, but that's light blonde, absolutely.
I think Jay's colorblind.
No.
I know I for sure am, so.
That's light blonde. In the comments below, tell us if it's light blonde or red.
It's like that stupid fucking dress thing.
This is gonna be the new fucking Ewoks debate.
No,
on
I don't
show.
plan to come back to this subject because it's entirely
maybe you
unimportant.
don't. Maybe you don't.
Oh no.
Why do you have to turn everything
I
into
have hills to die on, alright?
Dude, you're wrong. You're just wrong. That is as blonde as the day is long.
The days aren't that long.
So anyway, I went to close the tab that I had open of the Clone Wars animated series. Not this, but not the cartoon, but the animated series. I forgot that the tab was closed, and because of that, I have off and on been looking at fucking Sean Astin from fucking 50 First Dates, and I'm deeply unhappy about it. And I think that's recompense for us bringing up that movie at all, that I've had to look at him multiple times during this call.
Actor pitch. Adam Sandler is Anakin Skywalker.
Oh,
No.
No. Ever. Illegal. That's illegal.
No.
That is defined as cruel and unusual punishment, Chris.
For me specifically, because now I have to put a picture of Adam Sandler's head on top of Anakin
It's just
Skywalker's
Adam
body.
Sandler yelling at Samuel L. Jackson, I need him! Doing that really shrill Adam Sandler voice that millions of people find hilarious, apparently.
You convinced me, though. You convinced me, though. I don't find Adam Sandler funny at all, but in the context of Revenge of the Sith, in the middle of an incredibly serious scene of Hayden Christensen not being on tone as he should be, Adam Sandler being even more off tone emotionally would be pretty funny.
I thought we were in the clear, did all this legwork to get back onto Star Wars.
Never did.
And
Wait a minute, you thought we got back on Star Wars?
We did a lot of legwork in the opposite
Adam
direction.
Sandler again.
And listen, nothing against Adam Sandler. I'm a big fan of Big Daddy. That was a great movie.
I don't hate
the CW kid.
I can't stop thinking about it.
I like it. I've always really liked that movie. It is existentially terrifying. Friend of the show, Adam Sandler.
No.
So I'm gonna go.
All of the people, this is who we've rejected as friend of the
This
show.
is where
We're
I've rejected a lot of people as friends of the show. A lot of people I have rejected as friends of the show. I am just one individual, and I am often outvoted. Okay, I'm gonna go down some of my They Might Be Giants highlights, and then we can do weird Wikipedia. So okay, so here we go. As the movie hits the beginning of the ship battles, right at the beginning of the movie, the song "Spiraling Shape," a song that's very eldritch horror, but also has this like deep space eldritch horror feel to it, works really well with the battle, and also it's a song about spiraling shapes during a space fight, where spinning a good trick is very often used. There's also a section of xylophone and other weird instruments that hits just as the bug droids hit Obi-Wan, which was great. Then transitions into James K. Polk, a biographical song hit piece about the historical figure James K. Polk, the historical presidential figure James K. Polk, which plays through most of the Grievous introduction. I don't know how to explain it, but it was really, really perfect. The song Pet Name, a song about hating a pet name and growing to dislike a partner, plays during the Obi-Wan and Anakin banter, which was pretty great. It also has a terrible Hootie and the Blowfish sound to it, which just leaks through a large section of the movie. It cuts to, as Kenobi is crushed to death, it cuts to the song I Can Hear You, which is a song deliberately made to sound like it's from a 1930s radio broadcast. And it plays throughout the Palp's telling Anakin to kill him, which works great because it's Palpatine calling to Anakin, but also is funny because more often than not, the tuba plays a note when they transition to Palpatine. So now I associate Palpatine with the instrument, the tuba, which is pretty great. It plays over Anakin's insistence to bring Kenobi with him, which works very well. It cuts to the song "The Bells Are Ringing," a song that implies a group of followers are not responsible for whatever they do in that moment because they've been trained to commit terrible acts when they hear the sound of a ringing bell, and that plays over a space battle where hundreds of droids get spaced. The lyrics, "They are persuaded by the music and the bells. They're not responsible for anything they do," hit just as they're spaced, which is fan-fucking-tastic. And then the lyrics, "They weren't as organized," play as they run down the hall and then transition into, "And that was what was wrong," as the shields go up around them. So that's fucking fantastic. Grievous says the word Anakin Skywalker in between that song and the next song. And then the song Metal Detector plays, which is fucking fantastic.
I want to throw out an actor swap.
Okay.
Bo Burnham as Obi-Wan in the prequels.
Did you just say Bo Burnham?
Yeah. Burnham. However you say his name.
Why specifically this actor change?
Because half of his humor is about wanting to die. And it works.
Inside came out about 2 weeks ago, y'all.
Well, 8 weeks ago. In your timeline.
In your timeline.
In your timeline. Dear audience member, in whatever nuclear winter you find yourself in, just know that in this time, Inside just came out. You've probably been inside for a long time at this point.
The song Lullaby to Nightmares hits as Obi-Wan is praising Anakin and the man he has become, and the lyrics underneath the shady tree, a shadow sitting next to me play over Anakin watching his PSP play as Obi-Wan is talking to Padme during childbirth. No, I won't let the PSP go, excuse you. It's going to continue to happen. The lyrics, I've got to find new friends to hang with because they're all afraid of me, from Cyclops Rock hit as Obi-Wan's lightsaber falls before Cody. The song Man It's So Loud in Here kicks in as Anakin confides in Palps in a scene that eventually leads to the beginning of Anakin's fall and the reveal of him as Sidious, which I think worked really fantastically just because of the conflict in Anakin throughout the scene. And that's about it. The beginning and that other sync that I described at the beginning of the episode are really the highlights. Except for the end. At one point in Lazyhead and Sleepy Bones, it is implied that there are twins, and that hits just as Padme is shown Leia, which is fucking fantastic. And also when Anakin is on fire, the song Clap Your Hands is playing, which is just a bunch of clapping hands, like basically applauding Obi-Wan for leaving him to burn to death, which is pretty fantastic. And that's the highlights of my watch this time around. That's the highlights.
Someone's yelling out Encore. Obi-Wan turns around and just kind of like yeets Anakin farther back into the lava.
Oh my god.
If he did, it, like, the galaxy would be so much better.
Yeah, I mean,
you were the chosen one, Anakin. Think.
Obi-Wan is out here fucking committing war crimes left or right anyway. Fucking, why the hell would you just leave him? Fucking kill him. Just whoosh.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of much like most of the prequels. That was George writing himself into a corner. Most of the prequels can be described as George wrote himself into a corner. But this movie is a flawless masterpiece that nothing could go wrong with it because it's the only thing I look forward to except Empire.
Yeah, I mean, because it's got Palpatine's khakis, you know. That never gets fucking old for me. Ever since I noticed it.
I don't like how much airtime a picture of Palpatine upside down with his underpants shown is getting on the YouTube.
Listen, it's getting, he's got, like, it's finally getting the attention it deserves. Palpatine's fucking khakis.
That shot will never not be funny.
It's because he gets thrown. There's fucking.
He's fucking taking a neck bump off of a guy that was never there in the first place.
Jesus. Fucking there goes Palpatine, ass over elbows over the desk again.
Ass over elbows. That's just his Pilates. That's how he
he's
works
ass
out.
over elbow. It freeze frames. Well, yeah, that's me. You're probably.
Oh my god, I hate this joke so much. We keep going back to it.
I'm totally imagining because baby. So like Palpatine is supposed to be Mr. like master plan fucking whatever dude, and I'm totally imagining he takes a fucking face dive into that chair and like while he's there he's like yes, all according to plan.
Yep. I purposely compressed the C3 and C4 bones in my neck because it was a part of my master plan. This concussion is a part of my master plan. I can spin this.
Everyone knows you look more evil the more you're hunching.
I'll try.
Like, I'll get Mace to zap me with my own lightning. That way I can say I was fucked up. Yes. Way it looks like a weird slug, man.
I'll try spinning this. That'll be a good trick.
God.
Weird Wikipedia.
Weird Wikipedia.
The actual fuck. We have the second mission to the Yinchori system. How anything? 32 BBY. So this was during this mission. Following the deaths of Jedi Nishan and her Padawan Ebor Tolk Tayol.
That's a George name.
Who has
Oh my
been
God.
sent
I've
to
ever seen one.
investigate Tory aggression against their neighboring systems.
This is this has an appearance by one of my favorite really dumb Jedi Masters, and that's Kakrunk,
Oh, the tall neck guy?
the Whippet guy. He randomly survives the Clone Wars and then appears in like 137 ABI to give Cade Skywalker a hard time.
Jesus Christ.
And his name is Kakrunk.
Oh, I recognize this guy, yeah.
Yeah. He's weird. All of the Jedi that survived until 137 ABY are just perfect examples of where the fuck were you, buddy? When the fucking Empire was in control, and also when the Yuuzhan Vong fucking wiped out half the galaxy, like, where the fuck were you, buddy? But no, you're here to make fun of Cade Skywalker? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Didn't he fight during the Yuuzhan Vong?
No,
I thought he was part of the New Jedi Order.
he was during the Jason Solo run, but he wasn't during the Yuuzhan Vong War, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember. That's such a long time ago. Fucking Crunk.
Fucking
Crunk.
crunk.
Fucking
Fucking Kakrunk. Please tell us more about this battle, Ben.
Oh, sorry, I was going down a crunk rabbit hole.
Oh, I will. We'll get to that, I think, because I'd love to talk about how stupid that entire 137 ABY fucking thing is, but
We'll get to
we'll
that,
talk about
right?
it after.
I'd love to talk about Kakrunk. I'd talk about Kakrunk for hours.
So they after arriving on the planet, or after arriving in the system, getting to the planet, they were immediately attacked by starfighters.
Is this during the hyperspace war, or
This is
This is during
while
Clone-
Obi-Wan is a Padawan of Qui-Gon's.
Oh, it's before Clone Wars.
Yeah, it's during the lead up to the
Well,
Clone Wars.
no? I said the hyperspace wars. It's
Hyperspace Wars were like ages before the Clone Wars.
No. There's a series of events called the Stark Hyperspace War that happened like a couple years before Phantom Menace when Obi-Wan is an apprentice. Because that's when
I was thinking of the Great Hyperspace War, and that's like 5,000 BBY.
These beautiful moments of nerddom every once
Yeah,
in a while
it's-
that pop up on this podcast that I love.
It was a conflict where the Republic was on the side of the Trade Federation for whatever reason, because a company, if I remember correctly, I had one comic, was restricting the flow of Bacta. So they tried to get people together to deal with it, but they didn't have an army, so it was just volunteers and Jedi. And then it had one of the few Wookiee Jedi.
Wasn't Plagueis somehow involved in this?
Maybe in the background, I don't know
think
for sure.
Plagueis.
Though.
I
I'm sure.
thought Plagueis might have been involved somewhere, kind of pulling strings.
That's the era where they liked to try and like tie the Sith in heavily,
Yeah.
as like you said, string pullers and shit.
I mean, it was coming out in like 2002, I think. It was a Dark Horse comic series.
Those fucking Dark Horse comics, man, those were great.
Well, we'll get into Dark Horse.
Yeah. So they showed up and all these starfighters were like, "Hey, pew pew pew," and the Jedi were like, "Oh no, our ships don't have guns. We showed up to an active fucking war zone with ships that don't have guns. What the fuck?"
That sounds about right.
Addy
Yeah.
Dalia's cruiser, the Tholthian
Like
Jedi, would admit she wished the cruiser was armed.
Mace is at the front, like, who the fuck let us take this ship with no guns?
I've had it with these motherfucking pacifists on this motherfucking ship.
Some targets escaped through hyperspace. By the time they found out, it was too late since the cruiser had headed toward Yin Core, which is the system they were fighting.
They were fighting the whole system. That's impressive. I didn't know the Jedi possessed that type of power.
Wait, what?
Just out there, like, fuck you, space.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so lost. Am I having a stroke?
No.
No, I
she's
might be.
making the dumbest joke possible. I'll fight you and your Tesla and your floating AT-AT. Fucking Naruto and Han Solo back there.
Fight me in space, Elon.
No.
Oh, this is from
That's
Jedi
crazy.
Council Acts of War, issue 1.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the hyperspace.
There's not a lot. That's most of the
Yeah, it wasn't.
information.
Yeah.
A
Yeah, I
Jedi
don't-
cruiser fled to hyperspace. The starfighters followed it and just let everyone else go to the planet. And that's most of the encounter.
Hey, can we talk about... I kind of want to go back to our friend Kakrunk.
Our friend of the show, Krunk. Let's get him in there. Just
And bring up that Darth Krayt Rise of the Sith comic right before the end of the EU, because I know everybody likes the characters in that, but that whole thing was fucking stupid, right? Like, that comic run was not very good. To me, it was a perfect encapsulation of how far the content had fallen and how many ideas they didn't have left.
is it one of those retrospective things? Or I don't remember enough about the time period to remember if it was well received at the time or if it's more like, well, it was the last of the old EU and it was something kind of different and
If I remember correctly, people liked it at the time. But like, I think they liked it at the time because one, it was more edgy because like a Skywalker was doing drugs and shit, and like all these Jedi characters were back, and also Darth Krayt was like tortured when he was Asharad Het, or was that his dad?
Sure,
Ben,
that
help
was
me.
his father. I'm pretty
think so.
sure.
Like,
Double check that.
please do.
at
But it
that
was like-
point in the EU I was kind of burnt out. I had stopped paying as much attention for reasons.
I liked Krayt. I liked some of the new Sith they came up with. I liked the idea of Cade, but I didn't feel like it fit Star Wars very well. But like, none of the lore in it made any fucking sense whatsoever. The only thing that made sense about it was the way they used the Yuuzhan Vong. That was the only thing.
Okay.
And this,
Sharad Het was the father. Asharad Het was the son.
so those that don't know, Asharad Het was a Jedi that was birthed by Sharad Het, a Jedi that retired and joined a Tatooine Tusken Raider clan, and Asharad Het eventually was taken into the Jedi Order because of it, and then some shit happened. He survived Order 66 on Kashyyyk, went missing, fell to the dark side, was tortured by the Yuuzhan Vong, and somehow found a way to be around longer, so on and so forth. Eventually, King of the Sith, Rule of One.
Yeah. Which is just like, oh, all of my lesser Sith are here to exist to be ruled over by me. And then was very surprised when he eventually, I believe he got betrayed.
Yeah. Was it Nihilus?
It's been a while since I've gone through this canon.
Was it Nihilus that killed? No.
Nihilus is Old Republic.
No. You're thinking of Nihilus. I'm thinking of Nihilus. Nihilus was a different dude. Although, speaking of Nihilus, I think that comic run can be perfectly encapsulated by, like, one moment, and that's Darth Krayt consulting the Sith holocrons for someone to help him get out of that Yuuzhan Vong armor that he was trapped in. And it's like Darth Bane, Darth Nihilus, and somebody else. I forget who. And they're like, dude, this rule of one thing is gonna fall out around you because you can't fucking live forever, boss. And then he's like, fuck you all. They're like, also, we can't help you. Like, look at Nihilus over there. He's fucking, he might have been immortal if he hadn't been killed by the exile, but like, look at that dude. He ain't even fucking real. Like, he has no cognizance, and he's just like, that was the full scene. And I
run
think
that by me again, Jay.
God.
And I think that perfectly encapsulates that entire run. It tries to do so much, tries to bring back so many Old Republic Jedi, tries to incorporate characters you had forgotten about or had been explored in other comics, and tries to write this like far future, but it just isn't good because nothing makes sense. Like
Darth
the way Nihil. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, because I was gonna say it was definitely Nihilus in the Old Republic. I will die on that. So that makes sense.
It might be. I could be misremembering.
I knew there was one like a similar name in the Rule of One era. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm totally distracting.
No, I know all of us are like vaguely aware of the story, and Chris brought up an interesting point. It feels like that was one that we were into at the time, but like looking back on it, it's like, well, none of this shit makes sense, except maybe the Yuuzhan Vong.
What was the Yuuzhan Vong's first appearance?
It gets weird because the lore kind of implies that the one guy, I can't remember his name, was around during the Empire. And like Cartho Nasi saw them in deep space in Kotar. But like as far as like their race being named in there, it was the first Yuuzhan Vong book.
So in 40K, there's a race called the Tyranids, who are very reminiscent of the Yuuzhan Vong in that they are a purely biological, like all their weapons are biological, and they come from outside the galaxy. So I'm wondering who came up with it first, essentially.
It's not a one-to-one comparison, and maybe it's just kind of like a weird association I have, but they also kind of remind me of the Gith in
D&D.
D&D Forgotten Realms,
Their first appearance was Crimson Empire 2, Council of Blood, first issue.
I think
by Dark Horse in 1998.
That makes sense. Because I know they had done a lot of work leading up to it. And I know that the council, the Imperial Council or whatever, had a member that was an advisor. And he was a really important character throughout that entire war. And I can't remember his name, much like most of the Yuuzhan Vong character names. I'm sure they probably stole it. I know that they were hinting at that being the next arc, like in 97 and 98. But like, if you're unfamiliar, in that era, the Yuuzhan Vong had long since been retired to Sonoma Sakat. Sonoma Sakat, for some reason, disappeared, and people, even though they were still deeply mistrustful of the Yuuzhan Vong, they were trying to use their technology, I guess, for lack of a better term, to like repopulate worlds at that point, and that was kind of used to fuel racism, and then within the Empire, and then that's how Krayt came to power, and it was just like, okay, that makes sense. The rest of this is drivel.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like Star Wars continuity. It's like, there's a major event, and the rest of it's just like shit that happened.
Can I bring up
40K's Tyranids showed up in 1989, so.
Okay, yeah, they stole it.
Can I bring up a horrific Black Mirror-esque thought that I had
Oh no.
this week for some reason?
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with this movie in particular, but I was thinking a lot about the Obi-Wan series this week because, there was some slow drip news about it. It got me thinking, I'm like, it'd be nice if they did like some sort of in remembrance or dedication to Sir Alec Guinness, like in, the first episode or the last episode. And then it hit me. Oh shit. What if they Tarkin Sir Alec Guinness in this Obi-Wan series?
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd be disappointed.
What if, like, the last episode, that's like the last shot of the series, is they do the weird thing and it's like Sir Alec Guinness?
Well, we know that Ewan McGregor can get pretty fucking close to Alec Guinness. So it might not look as off-putting as Tarkin.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I almost wonder if it'd be. I know Ewan McGregor has said in multiple interviews, like, he studied Alec Guinness. He deeply respected him as an actor and everything. I almost wonder if it would be a situation where if they even mentioned, like, hey, we're thinking about doing this, he would be like, absolutely not. Like, why would you do this? He would hate this.
I feel like because I don't know. I don't know if he'd even have a say. I don't think they'd approach him. Spoilers for the end of Mandalorian 2 Electric Boogaloo Season 2.
I mean, it's been out for a while.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it, so spoilers. The Luke that they did at the end of that movie was fucking atrocious. Looked terrible. Terrible.
I didn't have a huge problem
Really
with it.
mind it. Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad. I've seen a lot worse.
You know,
It didn't freak me out as much as the Carrie Fisher one in Rogue One.
Yeah.
That one was bad too, yeah. The Tarkin one somehow worked.
Tarkin was. I mean, it worked better than Carrie Fisher, but it was still noticeably off.
I would say, well, I mean, they all look noticeably off right now. Like, there hasn't been a good one. But I would say, like, Tarkin's the best they've done, and then Luke is worse, and then Carrie Fisher is worse than both of them. But that gets into the question: is it ethical to do that?
Well, I think that's. I think the general public doesn't really think about things in the weird way that we do. I don't think there's a morality question for the general public. Like nobody's.
Well, I think
their mass market. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, that's kind of weird. They did that. That's kind of a weird ethical.
I think
thing.
If you brought someone's attention to it, they'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, they wouldn't really like think about it.
Yeah, but that's the problem with consumerism, right? Like when you're not thinking. What?
So there it is. We got here. Finally.
We got here.
We got here. Hey, a little banner falls. It's like, hey, fuck capitalism.
The audience isn't thinking about the ethics of a decision pretty much at any given time. Like, anytime you run into, for example, Disney, stop listening. Disney, stop listening. I need you to stop listening.
Kathleen, just skip
Kathleen,
like 30 seconds.
Just slipped like 30 seconds. When the Spider-Man thing happened with the MCU, everybody was like, well, I want Spider-Man in my MCU, ignoring the fact that the only thing that was keeping Sony afloat was Spider-Man. But they were obsessed with MCU Spidey, so they didn't think about it. And now Sony is in an even worse position because they had to renegotiate at a lower price.
I mean, I'm going to be real. I'm not going to shed any tears on behalf of Sony.
No, but we also are talking about one corporation that's unethical compared to the corporation that owns the entire 68% of the movie industry, like a monopoly.
Yeah, we won't be talking about Sony at all anymore about a year from now when Marvel buys, when Disney just straight up buys them also.
That's the problem. Like nobody
No, I
considered
agree.
that at the time, and I think comparably, the reason why people don't think about the ethics of using these faces without the actors being alive to give permission, except Carrie Fisher, I think Carrie Fisher gave permission, is because they're obsessed on the product, not the ethics around what the people around it want. That was my point. Disney, you can listen again.
If they ever try to do that to Harrison Ford years down the line, he'll, regardless of what you think of the afterlife or the supernatural, Harrison Ford will manifest back as a ghost and haunt everyone involved. Just the energy of his hatred alone.
His hatred for Star Wars.
This
Yeah.
season on BuzzFeed Unsolved. This has been Star Wars every week forever.
I was violently assaulted in my home. All I saw was the silhouette of a man with a hoop earring. He looked way too old for it. I don't.
Good night.
Hello, all you beautiful people, and thank you very much for joining us on yet another week of Star Wars Every Week Forever. We upload every Wednesday around noon on various platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, TuneIn, and many others. If you have any friends, companions, people you would like to torture with our presence, feel free to send them our way. You know where to find us. If you would like to interact with the show and the various co-hosts, you can find us quite easily on Twitter at SWEWF. We check there very regularly, so it's easy to get a hold of us. And I hope all of you wonderful people have a glorious rest of your day. Until next we meet, may the Force be with you.